Hi guys, welcome back to 234 in La Casa. So I'm gonna prepare a dish called Chicken Chilaquiles. It comes courtesy of Sylvia Waldsmith. It's a blue ribbon recipe, and I'll link her information in the description box below. It's an easy casserole that you can make. I have some leftover chicken and some leftover salsa and different things from having a taco night. And so this is a great way to repurpose your Cinco de Mayo comidas that you had during Cinco de Mayo. So the food that you had during Cinco de Mayo, you can repurpose with this particular recipe, okay? So I will bring it all over and show you the ingredients for Chicken Chilaquiles. It's a wonderful recipe, really, really good. I'll see you all in just a moment, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See y'all in a second. All right, y'all, so for the Chicken Chilaquiles, you're gonna want to have a small casserole dish. Now, if you decide to double the recipe, then you want one bigger than this. But it's a simple it's a small recipe. Not a lot of ingredients needed. Or I'm sorry, not a lot of large quantities needed. It's a dish that when I looked at the quantities that were needed, to me, it was like for, like if you have leftover food, it's something that you can do with that leftover food. So you're gonna want to, spray your casserole dish with some non-stick cooking spray, okay? And you're also gonna want to have some shredded cheese. I have shredded Monterey Jack and some mozzarella, just a little bit of mozzarella at the bottom that's left over from Cinco de Mayo. And then I also have some liquid cheese, okay? So like cheese dip cheese that I'm gonna be using as well. The recipe calls for just shredded cheese, but since I have this leftover cheese dip it doesn't have any meat or anything in it, just leftover cheese dip from Cinco de Mayo, I'm gonna use this as well, okay? And then you're also gonna want to have some chicken for this dish. So you could either go get a rotisserie chicken and shred it up and have that available, or if you have like leftover chicken from quesadillas or from chicken tacos or what have you, you can use that chicken as well. I just have some leftover shredded chicken that's already seasoned with onions, bell pepper that I'm going to be using for this dish. And then also tortilla chips is what you're going to want to have as well, okay? So you're going to start with a base layer of tortilla chips, and then we're going to layer our chicken on there. And you'll also need to have, which I have left over from Cinco de Mayo, is Salsa Verde, and you're going to need that Salsa Verde for as a sauce for this, okay? So I'm going to go get my Salsa Verde. Okay, so in this small saucepan, I have my Salsa Verde. I'm going to put it on the stove. In the recipe, Sylvia mentions that she puts her Salsa Verde in the microwave to heat it up and to also melt, because you're going to need cream cheese, like 3 ounces of cream cheese, and about 1/3 of a cup of sour cream. I'm going to do mine on the stove. So you can do it either way you want to. She puts the Salsa Verde, the sour cream, and the cream cheese all together and puts it in the microwave. I'm going to do mine on the stove. Okay, y'all, so this has started to bubble a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it down. And in the meantime, I went ahead and sprayed my casserole dish and put some chips at the bottom, so that's already ready. And then make sure you have your oven preheated to 350 degrees, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and add my 1/3 of a cup of sour cream. And the recipe that Sylvia has too mentions having scallions or green onions. If you have some, great. You can garnish those on the casserole if you would like. I have some, but if you don't have any, I wouldn't run out and go buy any or anything. I just happen to have some that I keep in the freezer, so I got a few of those out. But you'll just need those for garnish at the end, okay? And I'm eyeballing. I don't do a lot. I do some measuring, but when I'm cooking, I don't really do a lot of measurements. But so that I just eyeball. That looks like about 1/3 of a cup. I may use the rest of that because there's not hardly anything in there. I probably will. I'm just going to go ahead and use the rest of that. It's probably more like 1/2 a cup. Okay, and then to that, we're going to add 3 ounces. Not 3 ounces. Is it 3 ounces? Yeah, 3 ounces of cream cheese. And if you hear my kids in the background, they're just, it's just my kids. They're playing or on the phone, and playing games and stuff. So I'm just going to whisk this stuff together to make sure I can, because it gives me a little bit more control over the cream cheese and it getting all that, you know how it gets balled up and all that kind of stuff. So me whisking it, it'll kind of allow me to have a little bit more control over that. So it doesn't, so the appearance of it looks better. Okay, so you all can see it's like turned creamy, and you want to make sure too with your tortilla chips that you make sure that they're salted. These are not, so I'm going to put just a little bit of salt in the salsa. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more salt to that since my chips are not really salted to make up for that difference. But if you have salty chips, then you won't need to do this part. All right, so that's it with the salsa verde, and now we're going to start layering the salsa, the cheese, and the chips, and the chicken. And this is my shredded chicken from Cinco de Mayo. It's arroz y, let's see, it's not arroz, it's pollo and tomate and onion and bell pepper, okay? It's got lots of seasonings in there. It's really, really good. And in the recipe, it calls for about 2 layers of everything. So you're gonna do half of the salsa and then another half later, okay? So just make sure you reserve half of this. Okay, and so now I'm gonna put chicken in there. All right, and then at this point you would put your shredded cheese on there, but like I said, I have some nacho cheese or whatever it was, dipping cheese, that I'm going to put in here. And this nacho cheese is the same recipe that I used before for the, I forgot, it was a recipe that I posted. I think it was for, I don't know, I'll link it below. I can't remember the name of it. It was like the ultimate nachos or something like that. This is the same recipe for that I used in that cheese. For that video, this is the same recipe, okay? This cheese that's in here. All right, and so then now we're gonna have another layer of chips right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of the salsa. Make sure it's evenly distributed. Qué lindo. Very, very beautiful. And we're gonna add the chicken, and then we will end it with the shredded cheese on top. And like I said, this is a mix of Monterey Jack and mozzarella. You just use whatever your favorite cheese is. That's what's mentioned. Sylvia put in the recipe. It's just whatever your preferred cheese is. Okay. All right, and that's it. I'm gonna stop with the cheese here. I don't want to over cheese it. I know a lot of people, you know, they say pile it on, honey, but I'm gonna stop. Let me put some right there in there. Okay, and so then she doesn't mention in the recipe whether it needs to be covered or not when it goes in the oven. I'm going to place a piece of foil just kind of tinted over it because I don't want my cheese to get really dark. So that's what I'm gonna do, but you can place yours in the oven with no covering if that's what you would prefer. When I have a cheese dish, I always tend to like just tint it because I still want my cheese to get really dark. So, and I sprayed my foil with some non-stick cooking spray. So in case the foil drops down, it won't stick to the cheese, okay? All right, well, I'm going to place this in the oven for about 30 minutes. And I will bring you all back when it's out of the oven. See y'all in a second. The casserole is ready. Oh. Let's see here. Okay. So chicken chilaquiles. Chicken chilaquiles. It looks really good. It looks excellent. I'm gonna let it rest for a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and get this served, plated and everything. And I've got sour cream here. I've got green onion or scallions. I've got the salsa verde, and I have pico de gallo here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get this plated. Okay, so y'all can see what the inside looks like. See how it looks inside? It smells really, really good. Okay, and I'm gonna put some of the scallions on there on top, and a little bit of the salsa, and some pico, and I love pico, so and some sour cream. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and taste this. It's good. If you like, oh my God, that is so good. If you like chicken enchiladas, if you enjoy enchiladas, then you will enjoy this. And I'm not a huge like enchiladas, quesadillas. I'm not a huge, I love fajitas, I love tacos, but empanadas y quesadillas y enchiladas, no me gusta. But if you do like them, then you'll enjoy this. But this is good though. It is, it's good. And it's an excellent way to use up leftover chicken and tortillas or tortilla chips. If you have leftover like salsa verde, which you don't know what to do with, this is a good way to do it. This is excellent. So I thank Sylvia for sharing this recipe. I really, really do. It is absolutely glorious, and it gives me something else to put in my, in my recipe repertoire, because it's, I've never had this before, but it is absolutely excellent. So, all right. Well, I invite you guys to come back for another episode. I'm sorry, I'm not even paying really any attention. I'm so busy trying to get some more of this food. Come back for another episode of 234 in La Casa. Yeah, I'm trying to, this is, but it's good. It is. Anyway, all right, y'all. I'll be coming back with some more videos, hopefully tomorrow, okay? Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. See y'all later. Have a good evening, and y'all take care. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See y'all next time.